I met Minsky because he was a friend of Rollo Silver, and Rollo was my office mate. And so I met Marvin, and right away we became friends. And not long after meeting Marvin, I got out of the Air Force. And by the way, when I say we became friends, we used to have get-togethers at each other's houses. They'd be at Marvin's house, or he lived then in Cambridge. I forget the street, but I know where it is. And John McCarthy lived somewhere else. But in any case, both of them were married, and they each had some children. In Marvin's case, I think he had one then. The three of us were, really enjoyed each other's company, and we liked talking about things and technical stuff and so on. So when I left the Air Force, I got a job at Bolt, Beranek and Newman, and working for a guy named Licklider. And Licklider said to me, we should hire some more people. And I said, can we hire some part-time? He said, sure. They're called consultants or something. So I quickly offered jobs, got BBN to offer jobs to Marvin Minsky and John McCarthy. So now we were all there doing the same things. So when I came up with the idea of cellular automata, I told it to Marvin right away. And he told me, well, he said, there's some papers on this. There's one the first paper is by a famous physicist, one of the first, and the guy who thought of the digital computer, the stored program computer. Up until then, every computing machine they'd made hadn't thought of the idea of, in the memory where you had the data, there was the instructions for the computer. The early ones were just built to like an adding machine, to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. But the data was in the memory. And so the idea of putting the instructions in the memory was thought of by von Neumann, and it's called the von Neumann architecture. And von Neumann was a famous physicist who worked on the hydrogen bomb and things like that.